Arthritis is a chronic illness that's classified as a disability. The white blood cells, you have too many of them and it attacks your joints, causing them to flare and be in a lot of pain, sometimes limits the movement.
Physically, like, my whole body kind of shuts down, so I get really tired.
You can have really good days, really bad days, or just days that are just in the middle. It's so frustrating if you're having a bad day when it comes to the exam day, because there's nothing you can do about it. If you're sore, you're sore.
Concentration as well. You can never concentrate.
When you're sore.
Yeah. It's like that annoying person at the back just at your head, and it's just, yeah.
I feel like the main struggle at school would be PE, out of all the subjects that anybody would do.
If you're having a particularly bad day, then you can ask the teacher if you can sit out, but sometimes that's not an option.
I'd say writing's quite hard as well. Like if you're trying to write a lot, if you struggle with it in your fingers, wrists, sometimes it just gets tiring to write.
The worst bit for me living with it is the medicine.
Yeah.
And then you get weird reactions to it, and you're like, oh.
The side effects.
I struggle with actually getting to lessons.
Yeah, I think it is really difficult getting around school, especially like if you've got to go like up really loads of flights of stairs as well.
You need to be so open about it.
I find like I have this one teacher at school that I completely trust, and I always talk to her about how I'm feeling, and I think it really helps your mental health as well. Just because someone looks like they've got it together on the outside doesn't mean that they do.
I get asked if I'm an old person.
Or if it's like contagious, that was a big one when I was a bit younger.
I guess I'm always just worried that like people are gonna gossip about me behind my back, you know, like the cripple, like the one that can't do anything.
I get notes for anything that's coming up on the board. So that means like I don't have to copy all that out, and then if we're writing longer pieces, I've got my own laptop so I can choose when to use that.
I had a chemistry teacher that whenever I'd missed lessons, I used to get free periods, so she would spend time with me in my free periods to like catch me up on work I'd missed.
I find that when friends like carry things for you and stuff like that is a big help. My school were very supportive and they completely understood my condition. I have the option to have an LSA, which is a learning support teacher, write notes for me. I have loads and loads of options for when I am in a flare-up. I've dropped one subject and I'm going to be going to support pupils in the time that everyone else is in that subject. It's a small change for them, but for me it has a really big impact.
The students could maybe ask polite questions instead of just pointing out a different walk or a limp. 9 times out of 10 we want to raise awareness. We're happy to answer questions as long as it's in the right way.
By teachers, they'll be asking me, how is your arthritis today, or how are you doing? If you need anything, just tell us. The school have provided me special seats instead of the stools, and a room that I can do all my work in rather than walking around the full school.
So the school have given me a lift key so I can go up and down the lift to get to my lessons easier.
The advice I give to teachers would be to just listen. And if they don't get work done or they're late on homework, be understanding.
Try and be approachable, because you might not understand what the person's going through, but it also might be that the young person doesn't like to talk about it or struggles to communicate it to people.
I think the most important thing at school is having at least one person that you trust that you can speak to, because I think the mental health aspect's a really big thing for me.
Be thoughtful about how that person with arthritis is feeling, and physically and mentally, because it can mentally and physically drain you.
I think the school should start talking more about arthritis in young people and how it can affect them.
The main question I'd get by my friends especially was what they could do to help, and that was very considerate of them and very helpful for me, because then I knew I had support around me, so if I were to be in spot of trouble with my condition, they would be there to help.
Communication is incredibly important. It's like the main thing that's helped me through everything. It will make your time at school or just your life so much easier. Everything will get better. Like, your pain may not change, but you will have ways to reach out and alter the way that your school or your hospital is working.
It's quite a changing condition. It affects you differently at different times. So I think it's really important to speak about how you are at that specific moment, because that's how they can give you the support that you best need at that time.